Now how you talking out your neck when I know how your nigga neck work? I know you really hate my guts, cause you bitches really ugly, can't make this up. They call me Slim Rim, but my weight is up. They telling me I should wait, nigga, wait for what? The weight is up. Look, it's time. So if you see me with it, bitch, it's mine. When these other bitches rap, it's always just rhymes. When I rap, bitch, it's always 10 times. Stop playing with me. I got these niggas in the jail really staying with me. I got these niggas in the streets really slaying with me. I got these niggas in the south really hanging with me. I got these niggas in the gangs really banging with me. And what you looking at my shoes for? I swear to God, I know I'm on these bitches' move.
The public's collective intuition has reached a fever pitch, and as the digital scrutiny intensifies, people have started picking up on a palpable shift that is becoming impossible to ignore. There is something subtly yet distinctly different about Claressa Shields lately. It isn't necessarily an obvious transformation or a dramatic upheaval of her character, but rather a quiet, internal change where her usual high-octane energy seems momentarily dimmed. In the digital age, such nuances do not stay hidden for long, and while the internet community meticulously analyzes her every social media post and public appearance, a parallel storyline is unfolding with relentless momentum. Remy Ma is currently ascending in a way that feels both undeniable and overwhelming, creating a juxtaposition that makes everything else in the surrounding narrative feel increasingly awkward by comparison. This entire sequence of events was set in motion when Remy released a blistering diss track without the typical fanfare of heavy promotion, countdown clocks, or industry-sanctioned hype. She simply dropped the record out of nowhere, signaling a level of confidence that suggested the art didn't need artificial inflation to make a profound impact. Within mere hours, the public wasn't just consuming the audio. They were reacting, sharing, and dissecting every syllable with a surgical precision that only the most engaged fanbases can provide. The statistics soon began to validate the social media chatter, and as is often said, numbers do not take sides. They simply provide a cold, hard reflection of reality. The track ascended the charts with startling speed, securing the #2 spot on iTunes hip-hop and gaining significant traction across multiple musical categories, proving that this wasn't merely a fleeting rap moment, but had matured into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. While Remy's trajectory continues to soar, Claressa Shields seems to be navigating a much more complicated and internalized headspace. Although she remains visible and continues to post content, there is a lingering sense among her followers that something is fundamentally off, leading to a widespread state of confusion regarding her current status. Known globally for being outspoken, fiercely confident, and dominant in any arena she occupies, bold, fearless, and virtually untouchable, her recent tone has shifted toward the reserved. This change was noted by the public even before she had a chance to address the swirling rumors, adding a layer of complexity that extends far beyond the boundaries of music or sports. Central to this unfolding drama is Papoose, a figure who spent months claiming online that he was the primary architect behind a large portion of Remy's lyrical content. He didn't just claim a few clever bars. He asserted that he wrote the majority of her material, even citing the existence of proof in the form of drafts and email chains. This assertion naturally invited a skeptical inquiry. If Papoose truly possesses that specific level of elite lyrical skill, why is that same quality of work not manifesting in Claressa's recent creative endeavors? This isn't necessarily meant as a slight against Claressa, but rather as a logical question born from the claims Papoose himself put into the atmosphere. When the public went looking for a matching level of output or buzz from the projects he was supposedly influencing, they found nothing that rivaled the impact of Remy's latest release. No similar chart movement, no viral dissection, and nothing that hit the cultural zeitgeist with the same force. Consequently, the narrative began to pivot. Instead of accepting the idea that he was the mastermind behind the music, people started to consider the possibility that Remy's strength has always been her own, a theory that the real-time results seem to support far more than his verbal claims ever did. This leaves the situation feeling profoundly unbalanced, as one person is validating their reputation through tangible success, while others are being quietly interrogated by the public without even speaking a word. It is, however, crucial to maintain perspective regarding who Claressa Shields is. In the world of boxing, her legacy is already cemented in stone through Olympic gold medals, undisputed titles, and a trail of broken records. She has achieved a level of greatness that most athletes will never touch, and her professional achievements remain beyond reproach. The friction arises because the rules of the boxing ring do not apply to the world of hip-hop, an industry that operates under a completely different set of social and professional expectations. One does not simply step into the rap game on an impulse. Being adjacent to a situation or a person doesn't grant automatic entry or respect. In this arena, you must earn your stripes, demonstrate raw ability, and produce undeniable results, and currently, the online consensus suggests that things are out of sync. People are constantly measuring Remy's track and its success against Claressa's current standing, and in that comparative gap, the pressure has begun to mount. When expectations are sky-high but there is no definitive response, the conversation turns toward the critical, with some suggesting she should remain in the professional lane where she is already an unbeatable queen. While not intended as a sign of disrespect, this viewpoint focuses on the idea of protecting one's strength. Yet the more this sentiment spreads, the more the situation evolves from a debate about talent into a battle of pride. Once pride is on the line, the situation inevitably becomes more emotional and fraught with complexity, shifting the focus from performance to pure feeling. Even in the absence of a formal statement, the public has begun to project their own interpretations onto Claressa's digital footprint, most notably a recent gym video where she was seen hitting a punching bag. On the surface, it was a standard training clip within her natural habitat, but the audience read it as a coded message, with commenters claiming they knew exactly who those punches were intended for. Each strike on the bag was interpreted as a release of suppressed frustration, turning a simple workout into an emotional outlet. This narrative gained steam when the focus moved from her physical actions to her facial expressions, specifically her eyes. Many observed that she no longer carried the untouchable aura she is famous for, instead displaying a softer, more guarded energy that suggested she was holding something back. This observation spread like wildfire, leading to a microscopic analysis of every post and expression as the public attempted to determine if her mood was a result of the diss track, the relationship pressures, or perhaps something even deeper. The online discourse has effectively stripped away her armor, leaving the world to speculate on the vulnerability hidden behind the world-class athlete. The intensity of the speculation was only heightened when Papoose sat down for an interview, a move that rarely goes unnoticed when public curiosity is at an all-time high. The conversation eventually turned to the persistent rumors of a ring and a possible engagement that fans had been piecing together for weeks. However, Papoose addressed the topic with a firm and final no, dismissing the idea of an engagement or a proposal entirely. His tone wasn't one of maybe later or we're working on it, but rather a definitive shutdown that left the public more confused than ever. This created a jarring disconnect. On one hand, Claressa had been vocal about her desires for a future and a family, while on the other, the person she was being linked to was publicly removing those very goals from the table. This lack of alignment felt uncomfortable to witness, and before it could even be processed, a photo surfaced of Papoose wearing his original wedding ring, the one tied to his marriage with Remy Ma. The timing could not have been more volatile, adding a layer of visual proof to an already messy situation and causing the discussion to erupt once again. This specific visual detail felt like a punch to the gut for those rooting for Claressa, as it signaled a lingering attachment to a previous chapter that many assumed was closed. At this point, the public moved past simple wondering and began drawing hard conclusions, claiming with increasing confidence that Papoose was clearly not over his wife. From an objective standpoint, the optics were difficult to defend. Dismissing an engagement with one woman while wearing the ring of another creates a narrative that is hard to control. Even if there is a private context that justifies his actions, public perception often outweighs the facts in these high-stakes dramas. Observers noted that during his interview, he appeared guarded whenever Remy's name arose, leading many to believe there is still significant unresolved business between them. This theory was further bolstered by various commentators and social media personalities who broke down the behavior from a male perspective, asserting that his actions were those of a man still tethered to his past. The collective analysis has turned into a psychological profile of the trio, with fans acting as amateur detectives trying to decipher the true intentions behind every public gesture. Perhaps the most damning piece of evidence in the eyes of the public is the sudden and total disappearance of Claressa and Papoose as a duo. There are no more joint photos, no videos, and no public sightings. A silence that is deafening in a culture that expects constant visual confirmation of a relationship's status. As the weeks go by, the earlier questions have morphed into serious doubts about the authenticity or the longevity of their connection. When you synthesize all these elements, Remy's professional triumph, Papoose's mixed signals and nostalgic jewelry, and Claressa's uncharacteristic quietness, it forces a question that is becoming impossible to sidestep. What is the actual truth of this situation? Is this a legitimate relationship weathering a predictable storm? Or was it a house of cards that was never as stable as it appeared to be? The absence of public unity has led many to believe that the partnership has already dissolved behind closed doors, leaving only the remnants of a digital trail for the public to obsess over. Currently, the reality seems to exist in the shadowy space between what is being shown and what is being hidden, leaving the story feeling unresolved and poised for yet another dramatic twist. It creates a vacuum of information that the public is more than happy to fill with their own theories, biases, and desires. For Claressa, the GOAT, this presents a unique challenge. For the first time in her career, she is being defined by a narrative she did not create and cannot control with a physical punch. For Remy, it is a period of professional vindication that seems to separate her art from her personal turmoil. For Papoose, it is a moment of intense scrutiny that threatens his credibility as both a partner and a professional mentor. Ultimately, it invites the audience to decide. Is Claressa truly affected by the external noise? Is Papoose being transparent about his intentions? And does any of this feel real? One thing is certain, this narrative is far from finished, and the next chapter is likely to upend everything we think we know once again. The stakes are higher than a championship belt or a chart position. It is about the preservation of self in the face of a world that is always watching, always judging, and always waiting for the next move.